Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome to my online class, my dear pupils and viewers. Hope you are well by the grace of the Almighty Allah. I am also well by the grace of Allah. Stay home, stay safe about all kinds of intoxicants. Uh, Today I will discuss on part 5 tech question in English. Please look at the board, please. When we find any complex sentence for tech question, there are minimum two clauses in a complex sentence. One principal clause, one subordinate clause, or more. Generally, we make tech question of principal clause. For example, if you come, if conjunction here, you subject come, uh, present form of main verb, comma, I subject um, will um, will go, will auxiliary verb here, and finite verb go, base form of main verb. So we know any subordinate clause is started with a subordinating conjunction. Here the conjunction is if. So if we use at first subordinate clause, after subordinate clause we use a comma, and after comma we use the principal clause. So I will go, it is the principal clause. So we take will, the principal clause is I will go is affirmative, so the tech question will be negative. Will plus not is equal to won't. We make contraction, and we take the subject I pronoun. After at last we use a note of interrogation as conjunction here, use subject, so present form of main verb. So the as you saw is the subordinate clause. If we write at first the subordinate clause, after the subordinate clause we use a comma, and after comma we write the principal clause. So shall you read, it is the principal clause. It is the principal clause. Here shall is used with for surety. So shall is the auxiliary verb. We take it. So shall you is the principal clause, and we will make take question of this principal clause. We take shall, the clause. So shall we read, the clause is affirmative. Take question will be negative. So we make shall plus not is equal to shan't. We make a contraction, and we use the subject you, pronoun you. At last we use an interrogation mark. My dear students, if we find any complex sentence which or whose principal clause has no meaning, has the principality of meaning, has the principality of meaning, or importance of meaning. If any principal clause has not importance, has not importance, so we will make take question of subordinate clause in this respect. So look at here how we will find or identify which subordinate clause, which principal clause has no importance for meaning. Please look at subject plus hope, or wish, or suppose, or believe, or think, or fancy. If we find this construction, this principal clause has no importance in meaning, in meaning. So we will make a question of subordinate clause. For example, I wish, I subject, wish here the principal clause, but it has no importance for meaning or in meaning. I fancy, I subject, fancy, fancy. It is principal clause, but it has also no importance for in meaning. That two dates are understood here. And that I were a child again, that I sang a song. These two are subordinate clauses, but they have importance in meaning. So we will take the subordinate clause. We take where the subordinate clause, that I were a child again. It is affirmative, so the take question will be negative. Or plus not equal to or, and it is contraction, and we'll take the subject I pronoun. At last we use an interrogation mark. I sang a song. It is past and definite tense and subordinate clause. We take did as auxiliary verb, and that I sang a song. The clause is subordinate clause is affirmative, so the question will be negative. Did plus not is equal to didn't. It is the contracted from. And we take the subject I pronoun. At last we use a note of interrogation. If we find any compound sentence for take question, we know in a compound sentence there are two or more principal clauses. So we make take question the last principal clause of the sentence, of the compound sentence. So for example, he is poor, but he is honest. So we will make take question, the last principal clause we take is, and the clause is subordinate clause and affirmative, so the take question will be negative. Is plus not is equal to agent. So it is the contracted from, and we take the subject pronoun he, and at last we use a note of interrogation. Do or die. It is an imperative sentence and compound also. You subjects are understood. So we take you, and we know without let us any imperative sentence if we find, we will bring the subject you, and we use you will the modal auxiliary with you subject, whether the sentence is affirmative or negative. Will you, we take will, and the subject you, at last we use and the note of interrogation. My dear students and pupils, no more today. Fi amanillah.